Hey everyone. So this is the end of March. I got a lot of reading done this month. Um, it's beautiful outside. There's birds chirping and shit. And I thought, what a great time to do a March TBR list update. So I started the month pretty strong with a bigger book called The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I really enjoyed this book, especially the first act. I got a bit bored of it by the end of it, and now that I look back and I think harder about it, I realize that I loved the first act so much, but everything after that just lost steam and could not pick up the tracks of how awesome the first act was. And this is definitely a series that I'm not going to continue right now. I'm gonna wait till the final book releases, and then if it's a satisfying conclusion to the story, then I'll start reading the rest of the two books. I know that's a weird way to think about it, but this is one of those books where I'm like, the first act was so good that I don't want the final ending to be disappointing, so I'll kind of wait till that book comes out and see the reviews and such. And for the second book I read was Moss Flower by Brian Jacques. And I mean, you guys know already, I can't stop gushing about this series. I really loved it. It was very good. I like how he changed up his writing structure, not style necessarily, more like his approach and his structure. It was such an interesting read. There's no character perspectives this time around. It's more about many things are happening within the same chapter, so therefore you feel much more a sense of urgency happening at all times. It feels like a war, and that's kind of what it is in this book. It was very well, great villains, great cast of characters. This book focuses on Martin the Warrior, which is a figure that's very pretty famous in the Red Bull series. And I cannot wait to read Matameo, which is the third book in the series. I'm looking forward to that sometime soon. And after that, I wanted to read The Last Archer. And then I realized that this is a part of a series, and this is not necessarily this is the first book in its sub-series, but like there's other books before in the series. I just don't like to start in the middle of it. So I went and I bought The Green Ember, which is supposed to be the first book within this whole world, and that's where I wanted to start. But then I don't know what happened to me, and I was like, you know what? I do have an audiobook of a book called The Rats, what was it called? Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. And this is supposed to be a children's book. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm on an anthropomorphic animal role, and I have this audiobook, and it's like 6 hours audiobook. I could do it. So I listened to it, and I really enjoyed it. It was fun. There's not much depth to the story necessarily, so that's why I didn't do a dedicated review on its own, but I would like to kind of do a mini review right now. If you have kids, there's no reason why you should not be reading this book to them. There's such an easy read, such a cute, wholesome critters living on a farm trying to avoid this giant cat. And there's these pack of rats who are, unlike every other anthropomorphic fantasy, rats are somewhat of a good guys here, or at least these rats, because apparently these rats were experimented on and they're much more intelligent than any other critter around the farm, and they're trying to escape their previous owners. And it's very wholesome, it's very cute, it has a very nice start, it has a very nice ending. Simple, easy reading experience. Now after that, I was craving something a bit. I wasn't still craving the giant book, and that's a problem because I started with Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is a book that's 1,300 pages. I got into the first 100, and don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying myself, but I was craving something with a bit more kick, you know. I was craving prose, okay? I'll just say it. I was craving better prose. Sanders's prose aren't, well, they're somewhat non-existent, and they're not necessarily the best, and I understand why. It's a business choice, honestly. Like, you want to appeal to the largest audience possible. I get it, right? I get it, but I DNF'd it for now, just so I can finish that other book. I'll be back to this. I definitely want to finish this. This is his highest rated book in like Goodreads, I think. So it just so happened that yesterday I went to the capital of the country I live in. That's in Yerevan. I'm 2 hours away from Yerevan. I'm much more closer to the Georgian border. And and I went and I did a book haul type of situation. I bought a bunch of books, and this is the one that I got. This one is called The Angel's Game by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And I've heard a lot about this author, so I picked up this book and I started reading it. And the prose are...
Oh, beautiful.
Those are chef's kiss. These are one of the... this is exactly the type of book I needed at this moment in my life. I mean, if I can just like read the first... I'm gonna do a separate review about this, and I'm definitely gonna read the first paragraph to you all. But just hear me out. This is what I mean when I say I was craving good prose. Listen. A writer never forgets the first time he accepted a few coins or a word of praise in exchange for a story. He will never forget the sweet poison of vanity in his blood, and the belief that if he succeeds in not letting anyone discover his lack of talent, the dream of literature will provide him with a roof over his head, a hot meal at the end of the day, and what he covets the most, his name printed on a miserable piece of paper that surely will outlive him. A writer is condemned to remember that moment, because from then on,
Excuse me, sorry, do you speak English?
No, I don't, sorry.
Because from then on, he is doomed and his soul has a price. This is the exact type of book I needed right now. So, I'm reading The Angel's Game. You know, not as planned. I thought I would be halfway through Words of Radiance by now. It's fine. You have to pick up what you're enjoying. And regarding that shopping spree I went on, I'll do a book haul video very soon. Yes, I'm becoming a genetic booktuber. I will be doing book haul videos, and we'll see what the month of April has in store for us. If you joined here, then you care enough about me that you watched an update to this month's TBR. Then therefore, I would like to ask to subscribe to my tiny whiny YouTube channel, and hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.